In Nioh 2, the best weapon in the game is the one that you enjoy using the most. You take that weapon and you put it in the number 2 slot behind Spear because what are we talking about? Of course, Spear is the best weapon in the game. Split staff, fists, garbage. Katanas? What are you, a weeb? No. Spear is the weapon of champions. Gigachats look at this tool of utter destruction and they kneel. They kneel and they shed manly tears at the raw power and greatness that this weapon represents. This is a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kidding. No, don't start. Delete your comments. You don't have to tell me what's actually meta, it's fine. I know, and I like those weapons too. I like all the weapons. And that is what brings us here today, actually. I was thinking of starting a weapon showcase series for Nioh, and I was wondering what weapon to show off first. I was asking around and I saw an unfortunate amount of disrespect about the spear. And that's fine, I get it. A lot of people don't know how to use it. That's cool. That's why I'm here to show you the light with this video, and also just to show off a tiny bit with the spear. By the way, when I said I was joking, it wasn't about the spear being the best. That part was serious. Spear is the best. I'm not backing down on this, by the way. I will fight you. I mean, we can also compromise. Like, at the very least, hopefully we can agree that Spear is a top tier weapon. I think the only thing holding it back for most people is that the skill floor is a bit higher up than most people are comfortable with, and that the skill ceiling is genuinely one of the highest among the weapons in the game. It makes it a bit hard to understand why it's good and why it works so well. Fortunately though, like pretty much any other weapon in the game, it's not hard to pick up and just start doing stuff with it. So maybe this video helps encourage you to pick it up and try it out for a bit. With the spear, there's a lot of nuances that aren't immediately obvious and go over people's heads. I'm going to point out a few things, but this isn't a full-on spear tutorial or we would be here for an hour. I'm not joking. Spear might not look amazing at first glance to some people, but I can say the same about their moms. The spear doesn't have any fancy or big moves to get people excited about it, but funny enough, I respect that about the spear. It's a very pragmatic weapon in that sense. It doesn't need to have all the flashy bells and whistles. It naturally looks flashy when you use it to its full potential. And putting that potential on display is some of the flashiest stuff I've seen in this game. I'm talking about myself, by the way. My footage is amazing. Are you checking out this gameplay in the background, by the way? Anyway, I've said it before, but Spear is a weapon that is all about control. You have a laundry list of abilities that enable you to absolutely control the flow of battle in ways that don't exist for other weapons. I'm talking moves like Monkey Flip, Rainbow Ruse, Spear Flourish, Body Swap, and there's more to that list, but if we're talking core moves that any spear enjoyer has to master, it's these here, and they're core to what makes the spear a top tier weapon. Monkey Flip and Rainbow Ruse are both movement-oriented abilities. Monkey Flip has you flipping over the enemy. Even a very tall yokai can be flipped over with a little finessing. Rainbow Ruse is basically you using your key pulse to displace yourself. And so, what do movement abilities have to do with control, like I mentioned earlier? Well, the best way I can explain it is, it's all about making the enemy attack where they think you'll be. You bait out or you wait till they're ready to commit to an attack, and then you use these moves. So they swing at you, meanwhile you're already behind them as they're mid-swing in the wrong direction because that's the last thing they saw of you. You were right in front of them when in reality, you're long gone. It's like they're fighting your illusions. Your enemy is sitting there fighting ghosts, and you're smacking their butts like you're at a freak off at Diddy's place. It's comical. Rainbow Ruse and Monkey Flip, when used properly, not only allow you to remain untouched in the most stylish of ways possible, they both do damage and key damage, so it allows you to maintain offensive pressure on them as you're taking defensive or evasive measures yourself at the same time. So those are the first two skills I listed. Number 3 is Spear Flourish, and it's a move that does damage to an enemy as you're key pulsing, but if you're fighting humans, this attack knocks them off balance. It doesn't look like much, but this is an irresistible stagger versus humans it connects with, and it's extremely strong for leading into follow-ups and combos. In the same way players spam Ippon to stagger Yokai, you can do it to humans with Flourish, and it costs 0 anima to spam, so you can do it infinitely if you want. I sure do. Infinite use Ippon versus humans is crazy. Let me show you an example. Basically, I'll be using Flourish in a way that keeps the enemy overwhelmed. It keeps them out of key, or if they have key, it keeps them stunned so I can constantly follow up and knock them out of key as efficiently as possible. Spear Flourish would probably be the cheesiest skill versus humans in the game if another move in the Spears kit didn't exist: Body Swap. Body Swap forcibly moves a human in any direction you want. Humans cannot block this, and it is actually incredibly oppressive against all humans. Imagine having a single move that disables half the enemies in the game, bosses included, let alone 2 moves. Funnily enough, you can combine these 2 very oppressive moves to completely lock down enemies and keep them from doing absolutely anything. If there's a human you are struggling to beat, you literally just need Spear and Body Swap into Flourish and you can beat them. No, I'm not exaggerating. Yes, even the most ridiculous humans. Saito becomes very light work. Rin, the Dragon Ninja, has nothing to escape this combo. You see how easy it is? It's so boring to abuse for me personally. I have to fight the urge of falling asleep when I do it, but I guarantee you, you can just body swap Flourish until the enemy is out of key and then demolish their health pools with any combo strings you like. And if they get up and start to recover, body swap Flourish them until they're out of key again. It's not rocket science at all. And it doesn't matter how bad you are at the game, if you know the input for these 2 moves, you just win. And again, no human opponent can do anything to escape proper loops of these skills. I mean, alternatively, you can just fight these opponents normally because, again, the spear is the greatest weapon in the game. Again, I'm not backing down. there's really no need for cheese, but if you're just starting out and looking for an easy crush to victory until you get better, body swap abuse is definitely one way to get started. Abusing mechanics until you're good enough to stand on your own is honestly a staple of learning Nioh. I can't tell you the number of players who started off spamming Sloth versus every vaguely tough enemy they saw, to now having a severe distaste at how cheesy it is, for example, once they got better. You start there, and then you work your way up, mixing in combos in between body swaps. You abuse Flourish until you can work in combos in between those hits. Well, you'll always spam Rainbow Ruse and Monkey Flip, let's be honest, so abuse that as often as possible. You master those basic building blocks and you make a tower of it. That is Nioh in a nutshell. And that's actually it. I originally wanted to do a quick 3-4 minute montage of me slapping around enemies, believe it or not, but I couldn't help but start yapping, and it almost turned into a full-on tutorial, which wasn't the intention at all. Let me know your thoughts though. Tell me if there's something differently I could have done with this video. I'd be happy to hear it. Maybe you would really just prefer a weapon showcase with no added context to yapping, just raw gameplay and nothing else. Or maybe this format is fine, I'm not sure. I might make a second spear video if I get enough feedback to make some big changes. I do want to do other showcases of weapons like Tonfa, Odachi, Fists, maybe all the weapons, but I want to figure out the best way to go about it. And if this little showcase series actually does well, maybe I will do full-on tutorials in as digestible a way as possible. So if you did enjoy this, please like, please subscribe, please share maybe. And like I said, if it goes well, I'll definitely go in depth. I also have a Ninja Gaiden video I need to post, so I'll definitely be working on that in the meanwhile, and we'll just see how things go. I have a Discord, by the way, link in the description. Feel free to join and make some recommendations there. I also stream on Twitch daily, links also there. All the footage is pulled from those streams if you want to check me out live, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Love you. Peace.